I don't think that should hurt you. Maybe I don't know. I don't play soldier. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me start streaming then. So this entire screen. Let's just do the TF2. Get that like good shit. Okay. Everyone should be on. I imagine. I hope. So for this week, we're gonna do like a soft little reset. We had some good strats and a lot of good things that worked, but we're kind of struggling on like communication and coordination, all that good stuff. Sick. Actually, head. Why do I hear my voice through your microphone? Oh shit. Yeah, no, I just noticed that.
You're so quiet now.
Yeah. You were quiet. You're good. It's just one of those things. Just like it's kind of like it was weird. I don't know if you could fix it, but we're good. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do like a little bit like a little soft reset. We're gonna slow things down a lot, and we did pretty good on like the heavy on the hill thing, but for right now, we're gonna just do simple. So for the rollout, we all roll out. Everyone goes through main, flank. They do what they want to. I don't exactly know how flank plays, but I imagine y'all go through concrete, or we all roll out naturally. When we get out, make sure that our flank players have their buffs. Flank, y'all coordinate. Y'all are pretty good at it. Then, like, I want to play passive. Which y'all will roll out here. You play passive, you'll play aggressive, depending on what the main call is. And then I imagine that most of us know what we're doing on product for the most part. Product is a very, very simple map with very simple callouts. So I imagine I don't really need to go over where everyone needs to stand and whatnot. Just everyone play what they usually play. Flank plays flank. Entry, you stay with our sniper. Make sure that Spy doesn't get our sniper. Combo plays together. Scout does scout things. Sniper does sniper things. And we should be good. Now for the little bit of the in-depth things. One thing that I want to prioritize is sniper. So sniper is very oppressive on this map. And I remember Nah brought up a good point, which was if our spy is dead and we don't know where this sniper is, we can start calling where this sniper is not. So, for example, if spy is dead, you can see through house a little window right there, or you can just do like a tiny little jump, just jiggle peek, be like, oh, sniper is on rock or sniper is not on rock. Then we know that they're not on rock. Try and find if we can't find where the sniper is, then let's just find where the sniper isn't. That's always like the first step in our attack, or should be in our attack, is finding where the sniper is. Sniper's playing cliff, push dog bread. Sniper's playing on, I believe this is grass. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sniper's playing grass. You can push through, you can meet them. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Valley. Okay, yeah. So yeah, if Sniper's main, we adjust accordingly. We can start rolling out through our Valley, just but of course, always the first step that should be asked, the first question before we always push should be where is sniper. So before we push, let's deduct where sniper is or isn't, and then do that. I don't really want any of us peeking or dying the sniper before we even start the dry fight. It's really stupid to do so. Um, Next thing I want to bring up is spy awareness. We're decently good at spy awareness, but Spy is very oppressive on this map. Just like as a pyro, when we're like reading behind house, I mean, just like doing this. Like the Spy can come from cliff, he can come from the entryway, he can be hiding in main in this corner, he can be hiding up here on these little logs when we're rolling out. He can drop stab from the stairs, drop stab from China, be anywhere on bridge. He could be on these boxes, could maybe get up here somehow, could be on Japan. Spy has so much free reign to be anywhere and everywhere on this map that this is the one map where you have to be spy aware, especially for our spy vulnerable classes. So for sniper and heavy, sniper not as much since they're too busy focusing on killing. So that's for our NG tour, but like our heavy, pretty good at it, but just just realize that spy can just come from anywhere and everywhere at all times. So whenever we're regrouping or we're pushing, I'll do my best to, but you have to realize that, like, as a pyro player, I'm looking forward, not trying to bait our demo, and then, looking forward, reflect, look behind. This is not easy to do, especially when there's bullets and pipes. So, like, for our med, just be spyware. It's, like, any second that you're not looking behind, how I think of it when I play pyro, any second that I'm not looking behind is a time that I'm gonna get backstabbed. And that just makes me super paranoid. So just be extra, extra, extra paranoid on this map. If you need any other tips, I'll be happy to give you some. For the when we're holding on product, we've been talking about this a lot. One thing that I really want to see, we're pretty good at it. Just a little reminder: we want to be holding up here. We never want to be holding back here. The only people that should be back here, realistically, is our sniper and NG. Everyone else should be up here. Like, as a pyro, I might go back to get ammo, but everyone else should be playing up here, just because, for the simple reason, whenever they pop, we want them to pop here and not here. We want to contest all of this space. Of course, when we're doing this, we need heavy sniper comms, so everyone be looking out for the sniper, preferably spy. If you could just be calling that out in between if you have any, you shouldn't have any downtime since this is spy's best map, but just snipers rolling out cliff, that area, I don't know what that area is called actually, with the big health pack. Grass, yeah, okay, thank you, Head. If he's rolling out grass or he's rolling out valley or main, just be able to calm that very quickly. And for the forward hold, especially, if we do call for a forward hold, that will only be on Lars' call. We can all ask him questions, but if he says no, then that's no. Like, there should be no one. If you're up here and like where you're feeding, I get that I do that and I'm feeding and that's on me, but like anyone else that's up here is feeding unless the forward hold is called. For the forward hold, how the forward hold works on product is it's very rotation heavy. The whole point is to meet them wherever they go. So our spy is just calling out where they go, or we have players spotting all these entrances. If they call, like, for example, if our combo stuffs them cliff, we have a couple players on their grass and like one player watching main just so that like their flank doesn't walk out for free. But like if our spy calls like, oh, they're going main, that means that entire combo plus like soldier or heavy or whoever's with us immediately rotate to hold them. Like the whole point of the forward is to not have players, is to not have all these locked down, is to have one locked down and meet them accordingly. Have players spotting the other two, but have one, where their combo goes, our combo goes pretty much. And then we back out accordingly. For bombs on this map, if we call for a bomb, it is pretty easy as like a pyro, it's pretty easy to like deny the bomb since there's a lot of free space. But when we call it, we have to be ready for it. So like, if we cap point right, and we have ad, we kill their med, they're probably gonna call for a sack. We just have to be ready to we have to have like our med playing here, and I'll be playing here with our med. But we just all have to be ready to back out. Like that's just, it's pretty simple. Like we're pretty good at bombs and like knowing when they're happening and knowing how to deny them. But especially one thing that I want to bring up is spy during these. So for our NG, if we're calling for a bomb, then of course don't let our sniper drop, but if they're going to sack in, their spy is probably not going to go for our sniper since they're going to try and go for our med. So preferably what I'd like our NG to do would be to deny the spy. I'm going to be like, looking for the bombs up in here or wherever our med calls that they're kiting out from. I will go accordingly, or preferably their med, our med calls me to follow them, just to have our med call our scout and me. I'll deny them, and then our scout kites our med out. But NG, your job during it is mainly to just spy check. Best way that I can word it is lay out the red carpet for our med. If I'm denying the bombs up here, then and our med wants to kite out, through per se, let's say through cliff, then NG, your goal is to spy check everything and just make sure that when our med is running out with our scout, spy is just nowhere in this area because the red carpet for them is already laid out by you for the so that way Spy doesn't, get a cheeky stab or gun down on a medic. What else? A couple other just like general notes that were talked about are how comms are going to work tonight. They're going to be reduced comms, which basically means that everyone is going to be being quiet except for Laura, our main caller, whoever our med is, and our spy player. Of course, for sniper comms, if you hit fat damage, say it. What's up, boy?
What's up?
If you hit fat damage, then you can give that comm out. But let's try and dial it back on the comms until we can all dissect through the comms. What I mean by that is let's have reduced comms until we are able to dissect the comms that we need to listen for. For example, as the Pyro, I'm listening for like our demos main calls, obviously, our meds calls, and that's really in our spice calls. Like if they're gonna bomb, I listen for like bomb, Uber exchange, and then what our demo's calling. That's what I dissect through everything. But we're struggling, so let's have reduced comms until we can get to that point where everyone can shuffle through the comms and get what they need. But until that point, we're just gonna have a Laurie main call, whoever our med is, calm the Uber exchanges and whatnot, and have our spy comm. One thing that I would like is that whenever a comm is made, for example, whenever our med calls the Uber exchanges, or like, hey, we're at Uber disad, or hey, we're at Uber ad, or hey, it's an exchange. Preferably, I'd like everyone to say at least some sort of verbal or just like confirmation. Even if it like preferably, not preferably, like some sort of verbal confirmation of just like it's gonna be Uber exchange, right? And then I want like everyone to say like heard. I get that it might get like you might skim over it, but listen out for those things, especially with the reduced comms, because whenever we are calling those exchanges, that will be dependent on how we play. If it's ad, then our scout and our demo have to be ready to go in. Which they should already be since they're listening for that call. But if it's ad, then our flank players should be healthy so that they can roll just at full buff. They can just roll with our combo. If it's disad, that confirmation just acknowledges that when they Uber in, we're ready to kite out super fast, super carefully. Only dropping classes that they hard scope up, but Uber disad are making it out fine. And if it's exchange. We play the exchange. On that same note of Uber exchanges, one thing that I'd like more of is knowing, I guess, how to play exchanges. In the sense that during the exchange, I've noticed this like a million times, but I'll say it a million more until we really get the hang of it. No one should die. Just no one. Like, not even our spy. Spy is like the only one that can be sorted justifiable. But preferably, our spy just shouldn't die at all, because he shouldn't be going for his stab anyways, because our spy should be trying to get his stab on the post-Uber, not during the Uber. Like, when we are calling the exchange, the whole point is that it's shiny players versus shiny players. It should not be shiny players shooting at non-shiny players. We will call the exchange, either our main caller or our med will then also call who they want in the exchange, like Demo Pyro, Pyro Scout, or whoever they think is like the best at that time. And then everyone else just gets out. Everyone else just gets out, and once the Uber is fading, that's when we all go in. The thought is that if we have point, right, and we're up here, we're playing for the exchange, we let them use in, right? We fight them here, we airblast them, have that sumo wrestling match, and then we all go in. Like, once the Uber's faded, all 9 of us are alive. They're cut out just, like, for free in Valley. Yeah, I believe it's Valley. And then we just roll them at a 9v9. Our spy drops in and whatnot. But no one, and I say this like, most certainly should be dying before that point. During the exchange. During the ad and the disad, it's different. But during the exchange, I should see all 9 players being alive. When we are calling the exchange, if you are unhealthy, like before, like for the post, that's when we all move in. But if you are unhealthy before the exchange even happens, say that. Usually we should call if the exchange is like, if we're at like 80%, we'll usually call it then. if you are unhealthy at the time, say something. Ask a question like, don't, well, you can ask a question, but it's like, be like, hey, I need buff. Like our flanks. It's like, I need buff. So that when we're at 80, we buff our flank, everyone's buffed up, and then we take the exchange. Instead of us like taking the exchange with all of our players low. We should all be healthy during the exchange and then all be healthy during the post. And if you are not healthy, then let's like shout at our mid to get healthy. And that's really all I have for the Uber exchanges themselves. And then yeah, aside from that, just another thing that I wanted to touch on was the game state that Hollaback made. I referred back to that in the secret roster channel chat thingamabob, so you can go back up into it. But I highly emphasize that we all work on that individually, just so that way, like when we are taking the ad Uber and we're taking it, when we're up here, our flank can like look over and be like, oh shit, they're here, and then they start walking forward without needing to be like, flank, let's push. Now we're pretty good at that already, but it's just one of those things. It's just like, if just reading the room, I guess, is like the best way that I can explain it. Just like if you see combo fighting like up here, flank should be with us. Like flank should be pushed up there or on this side of the concrete. If we're up here, if combo's up here already. And that's just one of those things, just like reading the room accordingly. Like Lar is pretty good at calling like I'm walking up. When he says that, flank can look over and be like, oh, Lar's walking up. He's walking up. I should be walking up as well. Or like our sniper is scaling with us. We're walking up. Sniper sees we're scaling up, scaling up. NG same thing. Our NG's just like building these buildings, but then NG's like, oh shit, we're walking up. NG goes and finds our sniper, and then starts bodyguarding our sniper as we're scaling. Just like general game state things, and like if you see that we're bleeding players, then you back out. Like if you see that our scout's dead and then our spy's dead and they have all 9 players, you're like, oh shit, we're 2 down, even though it's 2 classes. Sure, they're like, it's just scout and spy, by that it's just scout and spy, but that's still a 7v9 that we're taking. Start playing back just instinctively. Just like reading the room. Learn like should you poke alone, or do you see our demo starting to poke? Then you should poke. If your demo is not poking, you don't poke. Just like general reading the room. Something to just always be improving on. And I get that it's kind of hectic, but just take it one small step at a time. Don't get this point. And aside from that, I think we all know how to play product for the most part. I think we're pretty good. If anyone here has any questions, class specific or just like general things, like for this scrim at least, let's take it very simple. Like I really, really do like the heavy off of cliff walking up, but let's not do that for this scrim, just because it's a cooked ass weekend, and plus we want to like work on our fundamentals. Just everyone play their defaults, and like, does anyone have any questions about anything I said? Did I word anything wrong? That's up to. I think that's up to Merb. How would you want to play that, Merb? Do you feel comfortable being whipped out and then having head? Or actually, you wouldn't do it because you'd be going cliff.
I mean, if you're confident you can get something off doing your own thing, then sure, I can hold my own. You just have to be prepared that like they're probably gonna get into our flank, and there's not much I can do to stop it. Or well, I can hold them out at least, but like I can't do anything. mean,
Yes.
yeah, if you can ball out, then yeah, just do it.
I like that.
I love the smell of a kicked ass in the morning.
I like that. Yeah. Push to talk. Very good. I like that a lot, actually. Also, on that same note, Head, about the like how you're gonna get a feel for how they play. One last thing that I forgot is adaptability. That's something that we were always struggling on, in my opinion, but then that I really like to see that we're working on. Like, for example, that like, let's roll out grass first, and then see how they play, and at the second mid, make a new decision. I really, really do like that. It's that kind of like adaptability that I think that we should focus on as well. In like I'll put it on like the back burner since we do have like other more important things in my opinion to focus on. But just like if something's not working, do not be afraid to bring it up and then adapt accordingly. Like for example, like if our flank if you are noticing that like combo is pushing up too fast and too far before you guys have your buffs, do not be afraid to be like, hey, you guys are pushing up too fast, and then we can make that change before it gets really bad. Like preferably we can change it like on the next dry fight, but of course, better late than never, in my opinion. It's like you guys are pushing too fast. Say that, we'll be like, oh shit, and then we'll adjust accordingly as soon as possible. I do think that's something that we can all work on. Is just being more adaptable to the situation. If something's not working, no reason to bash our head against a brick wall and do the same thing for 10 more times. And then be like, how did we lose? But yeah, I think that's... You go ahead, you go. Perfect. If anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns about like their class-specific stuff, anything they've noticed...
Mr. Pyro player?
Yes, sir, Mr.
On,
Player.
on mids, when you roll out to mid, what are your like top priorities? Are you like just looking to reflect or like react to a bomb, or are you like spy checking for a spy that crosses, or like basically I'm asking you because
No,
the hero usually our sniper usually likes to play porch, and I feel like that's a little bit too far back for you to spy check for them. And I ask a hero, and they're like, yeah, it's fine if you're not there, because if I get stabbed, that's like my fault. But like, they're the sniper that needs to scope in. So like, if you're not gonna spy check for them, which I get it, because I think that's kind of far back, will just play with them. But I didn't know what you are usually doing, or how far you're like, what your circle of roaming is, basically.
Okay, yes. So let me give you my rollout. You go into here. Let me. Hello, demo man. I will play. Yeah. Okay. Ew, ugly ass taunt. Fuck Halloween. So here's the thing. So we're crouching, we're in spawn. Maybe I'll do like the soldier thing where I'll like reflect just to get closer for that extra half a second. So then usually Log will call out, I'm pushing Valley. So then I'll roll out, I'll get my buff and whatnot. Pushing Valley, I'll walk up house. Boom. Log's up here, I'm up here. So what I'm doing right now is I am... So here's my train of thought. So Log's up here, I'm pulling my detonator, I'm like shooting stuff. The minute that I see the first like rocket or pail come out as I'm like shooting, I see a pail, boom, reflect. And now I'm just reflecting for now I'm just reflecting for our demo. So now our demo's up here, they're shooting our demo, I'm reflecting for our demo. We're scaling slowly, we're making ground, we're trying to get a pick, and I'm kind of trying to sit over here because typically what spies will like to do is they'll try and go cloak and they'll like hug over here, jump, holy, pyro movement, jump up here, and now they're on cliff. So I'll try and sit like usually in this area to deny the spy from coming this way. Spy can still come from this way, but I just can't like risk our demo's life to just check over here. And then I trust my flank to not get stabbed immediately. But yeah,
That's fair.
on porch, over here, Our demo is scaling. I just cannot bait my demo. I'm up here.
No, yeah,
looking for-
no, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd just ask just to be sure. So if hero goes, literally, if a hero goes basically anywhere on the mid fight, I'm just gonna follow them. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. On that mid fight, on that initial. Just what I know, every spy is different. Like, when we go against nightly leakers, I will like check out their spy plays, and I didn't think I told you this away, but it's like what I'm gonna try and start doing, is I'm gonna make like little like group chats with like some people like for example, I'm gonna make like a group chat with like me, you, and JJ Ahmed, and like give us all tips about like how I spy check, how I call spy time, because I know like it's important for you to know spy, and it's important for JJ to know spy, so that way like we're all aware of it. Like every spy plays differently, but I'll relay to you like how their spy plays, because their spy might like to go gun spy on first for whatever weird reason. They might like to just go over here, see our flank, go under, decloak, and then get our flank. They might like to decloak and go for our sniper first. Like I'll just see how they play that first mid fight, just so that you can adjust accordingly to see if it's okay to like put a dispenser up real quick and then go spy check, or if you need to like always start spy check because they're gonna fucking go up here and then like boom and sniper dead. I'll give you that, but it's just like that's just how I play. Making sure that our demo doesn't die best you can. And trying to flinch the sniper if I see the sniper. Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, class specific, general? Did I word anything bad?
I'll go again if nobody else says anything. On the topic of comms, so like I'm usually pretty chatty, except for sometimes I will just like chill out when I'm playing NG, but like sometimes I will just have like a burst of just like comms that I feel like need to be said, but I will just shut up. But like on the topic of quote unquote important things to calm, but basically don't calm anything else. What are the quote unquote important things? Is like calling out where spy is crossing important enough for me to speak up? Is like I would assume like where sniper is like important as well. But like how much am I shutting up basically?
Okay.
What
so,
is deemed important?
Yeah. So every map is different. Just because not every map is product. On product specifically, the most important comm is sniper comm. If anyone sees sniper, call it. And like even if like how I see it, even if comms get a bit cluttered, I think it's better for us to like have like three people shout sniper China than have like one guy say it that might get missed. Like if you see sniper China, call it. Like anyone, heavy sniper spy, even if you're dead, if you are like spectating our players and you see like that, like if like I don't fucking know, like if our mids like I don't know, like a good example, like fucking if our heavy's like over here playing, looking at this fucking things, but like if you're spectating our heavy and like sniper peeks over here, call that for our heavy. He's like he's busy fighting in here, call that sniper's cliff. That's like the most important comm, just hands down. It trumps everything. Second most important is spy, since I give an example over there, like on this side, like let's just look over here. Like look, let's follow my crosshair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spots. 13 actually, because right here is a spot. 14, you can be on top of that. 15, you can be anywhere over here. 16, you could be under here like a fucking freak. That's 16 spots that spy can be that I have to be wary of at all time. To make it easier for me, if you catch spy, say something like if you say spy's in house, that is now this is all clear, that's all clear. Now it's just he's in house. You can be up here or you can come from over here. That helps me so much. And since spy is so aggressive and spy can single-handedly turn this out of a fight, call that. Third is beam. If you see beam, it's generally good to call it. Spy, call exchanges, obviously, or percentages, I mean. But if you see beam, sniper calls it. If you're like, if you're being some freak ass shit, if you're running like level 3s and you fucking Uncle Dane this shit, fucking, whee, you fucking fly into their spawn and you see med behind rock, call it. Just shit like that. other than that, like fourth important comm in my eyes, like the lesser, is like if one of their players is playing weird. Like if their heavies like sitting right here, call it. But like that's like the chain of like important comms. It's just like shout to like just like regular comment. Like sniper shout, you see spy shout, you see beam, call it regularly. You see a player out of position, call it. But aside from that, like fifth, I'd put it's just like if you hit like fat damage, like if you fucking 145 the med or something like that, or like heavies like hit it for 290, call that just so that we can focus fire. But yeah, that's for like just like general comms of just like what to be spazzing out on. And Head did say it, but I'll repeat it. If a problem is like stimming out on comms a lot and you have a problem, a simple little solution: do voice chat. I mean, not for that. Use voice chat, but use a push to talk. So just like you're stimming out a lot, just make it like your V key. My V key is nothing right now. You just like, use your V key in Discord. So now it's like you're like, oh, it's like I'm bombing in. You don't need to like call that, but it's like, oh, med hit for 140. You just calm that. Of course, it'd be good, but like, you get the point. It's just like remove all the clutter that you do and replace it with like only like the valuable stuff. Of course, depending on your class, but that's. Yes. There's one other thing, but I think that's mainly it. I'm trying to think of like the last thing that I thought of when I was talking about all that, but it's just like, fuck, it's on top of my tongue. Fucking. The Clearcomms thing. Head, I don't know if you want to do this like by yourself. I could help if need be, but it's like since we're doing reduced comms, do not be afraid to fucking like spam like. Don't be afraid to like shout reduced comms like you're spamming for a med in a pub with no meds on the team. Like if you gotta fucking just like shout clear comms, do not be afraid to do it. Because like right now we're trying to focus on like letting Lar have his space to speak, and so like having Lar have his space to speak and also being heard when he speaks. Like having everyone be able to listen for the exchange comms, like shit like that. So if you gotta call it, or it's like if like Lar, if you also want to call it. Or like I can do it as well if I notice it. Really, anyone can if they notice that like things are getting too out of hand, but it really should just be like mainly just like like Head, Lar. If you notice it, shout out like, hey, clear comms, everybody. Everyone listens to it, so shuts the fuck up. And then we go according to like it will be scuffed since we usually are a very talkative team. So just like be prepared for it to be scuffed, but. We'll get through it. I believe in us. It's one of those things that we're just gonna have to like fucking go with it. It'll suck, but it's better than us, having the same issue. Anyone else?
Very real.
Thank you, Lon. If anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns, I'm open. We have a good 22 minutes before. Anything on product specifically, anything they want to go over, that they noticed, that they feel, that they deemed worthy. Cool.
Can I ask opinion about what dispenser is good for on this map? Is it for my combo to use?
It's for me! I
It's
raised
for
my
you.
hand. I raised my hand like that one fucking teacher's pit.
Does it?
Like that.
Do you have a preference on whether it's behind rock or like what is that called? A pocket? Like next to valley?
I'd rather have it behind rock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I don't speak for everyone. Like, I'll let everyone speak on what they do with the dispenser, but I'll just go first because I'm fucking a narcissist and I'm important because, duh. No, but in all seriousness, I need it since I have 200, like, 200, that's 8, that's... What math am I doing right now? Holy, I'm cooked. Work is beating my ass. I have 8 reflex to do, and if I'm up here, I have to reflect, like, rocket, stickies, and pipes. Simple math, 16 projectiles, I only have 8 reflex. I need ammo. Let's look on the map. 1 medium, and then 1 small. And that's it. and you have like the ones like behind cliff and over here. But you know, how valuable is it for your party to be like, hold on, I need ammo, hold on, and then yeah, like a fucking lifeguard. I got you, Lar. Boom! Nasty reflect. Entire combo falls apart because I hit like a fucking reflect pipe. Like no, that's so like I don't really mind. Whoever your dispenser gets the most value, but I'll let you know. Lars said behind rock. I don't mean to cut him off. I'm sorry about that. ADHD, but yeah, behind rock is good. But if you notice that their demo is just spamming behind rock really easily, it's getting destroyed. Don't be afraid to put it in pocket. If you need to switch it up, just whoever gets the most value. But it's up for mainly combo, and also just for med, so that way like this med has like that extra protection from spy. Sits in the dispenser, doesn't die that easy. But yeah, any other questions, comments, concerns, opinions, thoughts, political hot takes, TF2 hot takes actually. I think random crits are balanced, by the way. That's my hot take for the day.
0 out of 10 rage bait.
Dude, that's toxic. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's not even a hot take. That's like a ice cold take. That's just true. Fuck the fucking weird weeb spies that are like, I have to get my frags in this pub server. I have to artificially inflate my interp to 50 million so that way no one can shoot me and I can face up everyone. Ah! Like, dude, this guy's not stabby. Come on now. You're not that guy. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything.